This is Mustache on Music, and this is
Tyler Cochrane.
Hayden Kelso.
so. You've described yourself or your influences as outlaw country.
Yeah, we tend to stay away from a lot of the new country stuff. It just doesn't really appeal to us. So it's more of an alternative outlaw style that we tend to follow.
Do you think with this newer like type of country that's coming in is good for like country music, or like to discover more of it, or
It's got its benefits and negatives, I would think. Just because it does create a divide
okay?
for guys like us that like doing the alternative outlaw style. A lot of us are rebelling against what's on the radio, so now there's very much a big, strong alternative scene. However,
I feel like the newer country does tend to appeal to more people. Like myself, like I grew up with the old stuff and I wasn't really a fan of it, to be honest with you. I just thought it was what my dad and what my grandpa listened to in the truck. And then I was introduced to like the newer pop country when I was in high school, and I went, hey, this stuff's kind of cool. And then from there, I slowly got into the outlaw type country. And then now I'm basically listening to the stuff that my dad played when I was a kid growing up that I didn't really like. So it kind of, it helps expose people to country music. So the fact that it's more accessible now, even though it's not quite as traditional, I think it helps just bring exposure to the genre.
yeah.
Okay. And in regards to your music, how was it that you started into being a musician, into country music?
Well, I myself, I grew up on country music. I have family that has always played, and I've always wanted to play. My parents got me a guitar when I was pretty young, and I went for lessons. I took music in school, and I could not figure out music to save my life. Like literally, guitar teachers were telling my parents, "Stop sending him for lessons. You're wasting your money." So yeah, I never played for the longest time, and then I was in a car accident back in 2012, so I had to give up like my wrestling career, my construction career, and just spend time healing from a brain injury. And I picked up a guitar and started playing, and it just started clicking. It was like everything that I had been told before about music just started making sense. So now I'm playing music.
Was it like one of those movies you see somebody just start speaking French and they've never spoken French?
Yeah,
It was
literally,
just
like I hit my head hard enough and it was tabernacle. Like now I can speak French.
but with music. So
Yeah, with music, yes.
okay. And you released an album during the pandemic.
Yep.
Called
Good songs for bad days.
Is that like in relation to the pandemic, or is it?
Actually, it's funny. I was doing a bunch of songwriting for the last like half a dozen years. Around Our Land is the first song that I ever wrote. And then the other ones are just kind of a compilation of songs that I wrote up until now. And I was jamming with a friend. We were trying to write song ideas, and he texted me one day. He's like, "I have your song title." He's like, "Good songs for bad days." I'm like, "I love it." So that's where we got the title for the album. But it was a mixture of songs that we wrote during the pandemic and way beforehand. And like even now we're working on a new album to hopefully be out within the next year.
To be named.
Yet to be named. Yeah.
Okay, so when you're like on this new album that you're looking to release, when you sit down to write a song, is it like the story and the lyrics come to you first, or is it the music starts speaking to you?
It kind of changes. Like there's times.
Done both.
Yeah.
Like I've come in with a riff, and then he's come up with the words for it, or he's come to me with some words, and then we've kind of brainstormed like where we want to take it musically, and then the riff, and then the rest of the song kind of comes from there. So it depends on the song, case by case.
Inspiration just comes in just so many different forms, right? So it just depends. Sometimes you hear something that you think, oh, like I need to make that sound and create a song from that. Or sometimes it's, I have something in my life I want to write about, so I'll just write like a poem or something, and then we'll put sound to it later on. So it all depends on the mood and whatever strikes you.
Okay. Do you feel that sometimes country music or like outlaw country kind of puts you into a box and you have to sort of sing about certain things or have music?
Like yes and no. I find I do relate to a lot of the music that I listen to, and that's why I kind of play it, because it just speaks to me so much, right? So, I guess you are technically in a box, but I feel like I just live in that box, period, right? So,
Okay.
like, there's the drinking, the heartbreaks, and all that stuff, but there's the other stuff too, right?
I would say us being outlaw country, as you would call it, takes us out of the box, because it's not songs about blue jeans, pickup trucks, girls, whiskey, whatever. It's
Not the pop country cookie cutter.
right. That style, if you want to call it, it really follows the pop formula, right? There's the team of songwriters. They release the songs that talk about trucks and beer and short shorts and whatever. Whereas with outlaw country, you can have any, really, like, can be about anything. So
Yeah, like I find when I'm writing about music or writing my music, I write it about life. I write it about real experiences and things that have happened. So that's, I guess, like my box that I write within is just my life experiences and things that I can relate to.
Okay. Is it like, do you find that like that's what people like a lot more than the cookie cutter? Like they can relate to what you.
That's
what
what-
you're
depends on the
relating
crowd.
to?
It really depends on the crowd, but I kind of joined him pretty late. Like, he's been playing for years, and I just joined a year ago almost. And people always come to me and say, "Hey, your singer's awesome, and his songs are relatable." I guess more like a folky kind of feel, because you can tell that the songs are actually written by a real person about real life experiences.
Okay.
So I think it's the music might not be as accessible than the pop stuff, but I feel like if people actually sit down and listen, the lyrics and the content really resonate with a lot of people.
Yeah, like before I released the album, we were singing songs for people at shows and telling them, "Hey, this is going to be on our upcoming album." And I'd have people coming up to me saying, like, "Hey, like, whatever you do, like, don't like do it with a full band, like do it like more like an acoustic feel, because that's what people like to hear, because it feels so relatable. It doesn't feel overproduced. It feels like the real thing." And I find that's a big reason why I got into this style of music, is because the artists I would listen to, I'd listen to their songs, like the ones that they wrote, and you can feel the heart in it, because it's real and because you can relate to it.
Okay.
And yeah, that's why I love this style of music.
And so, important question, almost maybe the most important. If you had to describe your music and your sound as a mustache,
As a mustache.
what kind of mustache would it be?
Oh boy. Oh, that's a good question. What? I don't know. You can't even really grow facial hair, can you?
Like
It's unfortunate.
like you forgot to shave, and it's just there, and you're like, well, it's there. Forgot to shave, didn't trim it. It just happened.
Yeah.
That's how I would.
See, like for me,
But that looks one way for me. I forgot to shave, and well, there we are. And then this guy forgot to shave. And
I shaved yesterday,
Yeah.
to be honest. But yeah, like for me, and it's funny because like growing all the hair started with laziness and then just turned into like, hey, this is actually like a
Jamie
good
Johnson
thing.
does it.
Jamie Johnson does it, so I might as well do it. So I'd say that's what my mustache would be, is the laziness turns into beauty.
Oh, okay. I like it though. That's
Right?
It's honest, like what you said, and
Yeah.
it sort of tells a story about who you are too. So.
Lazy and beautiful.
And if anybody wants to follow you, see where they can get your music or see where you're going to play,
Yeah.
where can we do that?
Well, we do have a website. It's Tyler Cochrane Music. And then we also have Instagram, Facebook. We're on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Pornhub.
Okay,
And,
that's a first.
We're all over the interwebs.
Okay, that's
Give
awesome.
him your handle, like at.
Well,
It's
what?
at
At Tyler Cochrane Music. Yes.
Okay.
At
So-
Tyler Cochrane Music.
I'll put links down in like everything. So like if you guys want to check it out and check out the live video that will be posted on Thursday. And this is Mustache on Music on.
Tyler Cochrane.
Hayden Kelso.
So, you know that friend who listens to all the latest music you've never heard of? Well, guess what? This guy taught that guy everything he knows. You're listening to Mustache on Music.